Hey, Shalom, his brother Yashima Zakar from the Israelite Report, IsraeliteReport.com. Upon my watch, all praises are definitely due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Peace and blessings to all the brothers spread across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth and sincerity. By the time I upload this, everyone and their mama will have heard about the shooting that took place near the White House. Two National Guardsmen were shot. And this is something I predicted a long time ago. We knew this was going to happen. The false flags. This is Esau's playbook. I'm just going to go ahead and get it. 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And a lot of rumors are being spread about what happened and who the suspect is. At the time of this recording, I'm not sure of what's what just yet. But I got this from the AP, Associated Press. It says 2 National Guard members in critical condition after shooting near the White House. 2 National Guard members were shot Wednesday near the White House and are in critical condition, according to a law enforcement official not authorized to discuss the matter publicly. He spoke to the AP on the condition of remaining anonymous. And it says a suspect who was in custody also was shot and has injuries that are believed to be not life-threatening. Says police tape cordoned off the scene where emergency fire and police vehicles lights flashed and helicopter blades thudded overhead. Agents from the U.S. Secret Service and the Bureau of Alcohol and Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives were on scene as National Guard troops stood nearby. At least one helicopter landed on the National Mall. Says the Joint D.C. Task Force confirmed they responded to the incident after reports of the shooting. The Metropolitan Police Department said they were responding to a shooting but didn't immediately provide more information. Now, back to the rumors part. I did see a photo of what is being said to be the shooter. This is what is circulating in the media right now. The shooter appeared to be a Arabic man, you would say, kind of looks Arabic-like. If that's wrong, then hey, that may not be him. I don't know. But in that photo, there was a police car that responded, and it looked like a Metro police, for the Metro stations, a D.C. Metro police officer. And on the top, it showed the overhead view. On the top of the police vehicle, the number for the vehicle is 6566. And I'm just looking at this shit going, well, damn. There's Esau with his coding, with his numerology. 6566. And, if this turns out to be true that this man is Arabic or some, from a Muslim country, of course, what do you think this is going to tie into? War. And this is what I meant when I said, Bishop Nathaniel, what he did with siding with the Nation of Islam and all of that, that was some real treacherous shit he did. Because they're looking to link up the Israelites with Muslims so they can deem us, label us Muslim terrorists. And no matter how much we say we're not with them, we're not Muslims, Esau has a way of spinning it. He owns the media. He can make you whatever he wants you to be. Even myself. They could just create any narrative they want. Okay? From ABC News, it says a White House official confirmed the White House is currently on lockdown. Trump is in Florida, where he is spending Thanksgiving at Mar-a-Lago. And yeah, of course, you know, I've been saying it and saying it and saying it. Look out for these false flags. These false flags are coming. I know these people. I know how they move. I know how they operate. Now, again, I want to stress this. I'm not sure if this is the actual shooter that they showed from the photo because I'm recording this early. So you may have more information by the time I release this. But Laura Loomer, who is a small hat and who's very prominent in the Trump administration, at least as far as talking and speaking for Trump. And she's big on anti-Islam, you know, just attacking Islam. She's trying to start the war with, you know, the U.S. and Iran. She writes this, the shooter has a big beard, very distinctive look. So she's trying to, you know, kind of say this is a Muslim attack, a Muslim terrorist attack, which this is a part of the J-ish right-wing game plan, the right-wing conservative J-ish people, to say that the Muslim Brotherhood is a danger and a threat to America. That way they can bring America into this war. Okay? The least of the flock shall draw them out. So these small hats are putting pressure on the U.S. to go to war with Iran and allow Israel to continue to do what they're doing to Palestine. So this is kicking off 2026 and late 2025. Okay, you see what 2026 is going to be like just from this. Because week after week after week, I'm telling you a big false flag is coming. This is a minor one. A big false flag is coming. You can look to see more situations like this. The whole point of having a National Guard out there in the first place in these cities is so a false flag can take place. Okay? To get the American right wing, because that's what they're focusing on. The American Edomite white right wing patriot, right? The patriots to side with war with Iran. And what better way to do that than to make it look as if you have Muslims shooting at the National Guard in America. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. So this and events like this gives Trump leeway, gives him an excuse to say, look, we got to do something about the Muslim Brotherhood. We got to attack Islam, Islamic countries. We can't have these people in our country shooting at our military. And I'm sorry, I did not mean to start the show off like this, but I want to get some of the comments here from the comment section responding to Lord Luma, who was insinuating that this is a Muslim man. Someone writes this: if it turns out to be a Muslim man, we could be in for some serious trouble in the country. It could be the breaking point with Islam in America. Okay, so you know how these Edomites are, man. They get gun-ho when situations like this pop off. Someone else writes, we don't know yet, but honestly, I would not be surprised at all if it turns out to be so. Trump needs to kick it into overdrive and haul them out of our country. Let me see if there's some more. So anyway, someone else writes this. I'll read this. This from another small hat. He writes, this is the rise in violence that I have been speaking about. We cannot let hate divide us. We must rally together and oppose the hatred that has been ingrained in our nation over the past few years. We must face the enemy in our midst. And they're talking about the Muslims. Now, why that's important, this is important to understand that the Israelites are being put on that same watch list as the Muslims. You have to understand the way Esau thinks. I know niggers will not get it. The shit will fly right over your head. I'm an Israelite. I'm not a Muslim. Yeah, no shit. Esau is retarded. The average Edomite sees you with a beard and they just go Muslim. They're stupid like that. Even some of our people do that. Even Lord Luma herself, she said, the shooter has a big beard. Okay? They are going to lump us in with Islam. That's going to happen. This is one of the first of many false flags to come. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and restart the show. I'm going to go ahead and restart it. And Shalom is Brother Yashima Zakar from the Israelite Report. IsraeliteReport.com. Upon my watch, all praises are definitely due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Peace and blessings to all the brothers spread across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth and sincerity. Those that truly believe and want to get the hell up out of here. Now, I kind of crashed out last week, and I'm going to try to chill. I'm going to do my best. I can't promise, make no false promises, but I'm going to do my best. I did want to start off with Acts 17 and 30. It says, in the times of this ignorance, Yahweh winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent. And we that know the times that we're in, we that are waking up to understand that we're Israelites, this is that time before the flood. This flood is going to be nuclear fire. All right? Now is the time to repent. 31st verse says, because he hath appointed a day in the which he will judge the world in righteousness by that man whom he hath ordained, whereof he hath given assurance unto all men, and that he hath raised him from the dead. The spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. We're really supposed to be occupied in prophecy. Okay? At this time. We're supposed to have a repentant heart and being occupied in prophecy. But I also want to get this. In Romans 9:22, it says, what if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. And a lot of our people are fitted for destruction. We're hoping and praying that we make it out of this, because it's going to be a tight situation. And I cannot stress that enough. I can't stress that enough. This is going to be a tight situation for me and all of you. This won't be an Israelite party. Okay? This time that we're getting ready to go into, 2025 is pretty much over with. We're about to see some serious shit. I keep saying this over and over again. They want to have the New World Order in place before 2030. I know it's Agenda 2030, but they want it in place before 2030. That needs to be understood. We're getting ready to move into 2026. So as the movie Back to the Future says, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious shit. As we move closer to 2027, I would say, you're going to see some serious shit. Romans 9:22 again, it says, what if Yahweh, willing to show his wrath? That's a hell of a question. What if Yahweh was willing to show his wrath? For all these people that are just boastful and proud, changing the word of the Lord. What if the Lord was just willing to show his wrath? And to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. And I want to go to Habakkuk 3:2. It says, O Lord, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known. In wrath, remember mercy. So that's why I'm always stressing that. Because the Lord he's really about to show his wrath. Knowing the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. But at the same time, right? At the same time, Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. Because at the end of the day, like my wife liked to say, at the end of the day, you have to be persuaded in your own mind. You have to fear the Lord for yourself. I'm telling you, it's going to get real nasty out here. That famine of the word might come a lot sooner than a lot of you even believe. Oh, it's going to be something when you wake up one day and you don't hear no more Israelites. You know, they done completely banned all the Israelites from uploading videos, or in my case, mainly, most people listen to me on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's going to be one hell of a day when it's not entertaining anymore. And you sitting there going, I gotta figure this shit out on my own. Yeah. You better take this chance. Take this opportunity. What did Eminem say? You only got one shot, one opportunity. And that opportunity is to seek ye the Lord while he may be found. I want to get into some of the news, if y'all don't mind. Like I said, I'm going to try to behave myself as best as I can. So it's come out that, matter of fact, let me read this. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an AI executive order called Genesis Mission. That's what it's called. This is an AI executive order called Genesis Mission, which is a nationwide AI industry effort similar to the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project was a top secret U.S.-led military research program during World War II that developed the world's first nuclear weapons. Oh, man. This guy, Trump, is very AI and big tech heavy in his administration, which is why I believe he will be the president to roll out the mark of the beast, the microchip. He's heavy on the AI and just look who's around him. Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Peter Thiel with Palantir. Everything is, as far as Trump is concerned, everything is AI based, digital currency based. They had a statue of him with Bitcoin in his hand. This guy is the guy, I believe. Unless I'm wrong, it could be someone else that comes after him, but I do believe he will be the one to roll out the mark of the beast. Someone replied to this post here. This came from someone called Just a Thought, and I love her post. She's a white woman, but she stays on their ass. She stays exposing Esau, and I love that shit. Okay? I love it when Esau exposes Esau. This is what she wrote. What does this actually mean in reality? Digital ID, which we're already seeing that in the UK, right? They're trying to mandate digital ID in the UK Social credit, which is the social credit score, that's already mandated in China. If you speak ill against the government, or you don't even have to do that. You can just practice religion in China, and it will lower your social credit score. And what that means is you will not have access to certain facilities. You won't be able to travel certain places. But if you're a good boy and girl and you do exactly what the government tell you, you denounce all religion and just bow down to the government, then your social credit score is high and you could have freedom of travel. Skynet is another one. Digital borders, which Trump promised, the entry-exit visa track and tracing system, which that's what happened at the border. It was a mini trial run, test run, as I always say. They use Palantir already. I believe that. They use it already. That's the reason why they did this little psyop with the border, pretending like people were crossing the border illegally when they actually allowed the people to cross on purpose so they could use facial recognition, Palantir, tracking, entry track and tracing. Technocracy, this is another one she wrote, technocracy, pre-crime, I'm going to get to that. Internet of bodies, right? Biometrics, the internet of bodies. Depopulation, we know about the Illuminati and the depopulation program. Transhumanism, that is really going into the mark of the beast, because when you get that chip in you, right? The merging of man and machine, that's really like the end game. Elon Musk with the Neuralink. People don't even talk about that anymore. Isn't that something? Isn't it something? Isn't it amazing how people can forget that fast? You got people saying that the mark of the beast isn't the microchip, but yet this technology is moving forward. They have that in China. They have another company in China that's doing the same thing that Elon is doing with the microchip in your brain. And don't forget, I keep bringing this out, and one day I have to bring out this this post, this video, if I can find it. In 2021, the Pentagon, a representative from the Pentagon went on 60 Minutes and said they have a health monitor, an implantable health monitor, an implantable health monitor. Implantable meaning they will implant it underneath your skin, and they will monitor your health to see if your blood sugar is low, if your blood pressure is high. Excuse me. My wife gave me a cold. If your blood sugar is low, if your blood pressure is high, right? This is all here. The Biden administration was there to be like a buffer, a go-between, a bridge. We were just biding our time. But now Trump is here, and he's going to sound the last Trump. Now, I do want to get this in Ecclesiasticus 23 and 18. It says, a man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? And you're going to see why I brought this out in a minute. Who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness. Right? But see, the thing is, Yahweh Shai is that light, that true light. And through Yahweh Shai, we're able to see in the darkness. But it says, who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. And this is the mindset of Esau. And I'm telling you, you're going to see why I'm bringing this out in a second. And nobody seeth me. That's the mindset right now of Esau Edom, the elites of Esau. They believe that they're still operating in the darkness while calling it the light. You know, that false light, the Illuminati, meaning the illuminated ones. It says here, what need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins. Again, this is Ecclesiasticus 23:18. And moving to the 19th verse, it says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men and knoweth not the eyes of the Lord. Whoo. That's so beautiful, man. Because Esau is carnal. And one thing, I promise you, I'm going to try my best not to rant. Esau is carnal. And one thing I'm always trying to explain, and as best I can, when you see these niggas disrespecting the Israelites that are bringing the truth, they're in a carnal mindset or, state of mind, the same as Esau. They're likened unto Esau in this day and time. In the kingdom, they'll be right in their mind, but right now they're likened unto Esau in their mind. I'm talking about their mental. They're still Jacob, but in their mind, they have cleaved and likened themselves unto Esau. Such a man feareth only the eyes of men. That's Esau. And knoweth not the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. Now, if y'all don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and get to this. I got this from DISCLOSE TV. DISCLOSE TV writes this. A state parliament in Germany has approved the use of Palantir's controversial Gotham software to enable police forces to analyze data and prevent crimes. This is so important. A state parliament in Germany has approved the use of Palantir, that's Peter Thiel, Trump's boy, okay? One of the heads of that operation, Palantir. Palantir's controversial Gotham software. And notice they call it Gotham, right? Coming straight out of Batman. Gotham software to enable police forces to analyze data. Remember, I'm always talking about how Esau is obsessed with data. they run these false flags to collect data. They run these psyops for data. Everything you post online is for data. The pandemic was a psyop for data. They wanted to see and measure how many people would take the shot, how many people wouldn't, how many people would wear their mask, and how many people would refuse. I wore a damn mask, but it didn't mean nothing to me. But I understand that they're using facial recognition already to see who's doing what. I was already in their database, so I didn't care. I was in their database back in 2006 because I did some shit. So I was already on their list. I was on their naughty list a long time ago. So I don't give a shit. They're going to come get me any goddamn way. Fuck them. But what I'm saying is this data is, even AI is data driven. Everything is about data with Esau. He's obsessed with it. Okay? It says a state parliament in Germany has approved the use of Palantir's controversial software to enable police forces to analyze data and prevent crimes. So this is talking about pre-crime, prosecuting you for pre-crime, the things that you haven't done, but the data, the algorithm, the artificial intelligence, AI, is saying you will do. And this is something I keep trying to get this across. I'm trying to tell you, you're not going to be prosecuted for what you did. The day is coming when they will prosecute you for what they believe you might do, or what the algorithm says you will do. Oh, you're a Hebrew Israelite. You believe in Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai talked about destruction, talked about bringing down Babylon. The elites know that America's Babylon the Great. Oh, so you may act on that. Even though you're not, you are waiting for Yahweh Shai to return to bring this place down. You're waiting for the Messiah. But their algorithm will say that this person is likely to act on his own. I hope that makes sense. I hope and pray, through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, that I'm making sense. Pre-crime. Okay? Now, give me a second. I want to pull this up too. This came from Hannibal 999. It says, Palantir's Gotham was born in war zones and counterterrorism. It was tested in Iraq and Afghanistan to track insurgents. Now it's being pointed inward at civilians in Western democracies. So the same technology they were using in Iraq and Afghanistan, now that technology is being used towards its own citizens here in America. And the European countries as well. It says here it's pivoting from battlefield to city street intentional. Okay, it says, and of course that's intentional, but it says the logic is straight out of Minority Report. You know, I never watched that movie. I hear about it all the time, especially amongst these, these so-called truthers. But I know a little bit about it. Like I've seen some clips and I know a little something about it. You know, it was about pre-crime. Prosecuting you for things that they, believe you're going to do. It says the logic is straight out of Minority Report, but worse because the precogs are now profit-driven neural nets trained by unelected analysts running black box logic you can't interrogate. Presumption of innocence is replaced with prediction of risk. Let me say that again. Presumption of innocence is replaced with prediction of risk. And that's going to be so key in Jacob's trouble. You have to think about it like this. Okay, at the moment, a black man working for a delivery company, pick one, anyone. A black man working for a delivery company, and he has a delivery in a white neighborhood, an all-white neighborhood. Anybody that sees him in that neighborhood is going to look at him and go, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing around here?" Okay? Look kind of suspicious to me. The nigga could be in a FedEx uniform, a UPS uniform, a USPS, United States Postal Service uniform. It doesn't matter. "Hey, buddy, never seen you around these parts." Now imagine what that's going to be like with this pre-crime prediction of risk, right? They're going to use their data, their statistics, because you know how Esau is with his data and his statistics. And he's going to say, well, according to our statistics, you Negroes are likely to break into a home. You're likely to break into a car. And all it takes is some sellout Israelites to do something stupid. One of these niggas that they put money in their pocket, or they could have been in prison and they give them a lighter sentence if they go and carry out some heinous act, terrorist-like act. And that's all they need to put that into their database, their algorithm, to say Israelites are a risk. If this man is a Israelite, or he's calling himself an Israelite, he's likely to commit this sort of crime, because this is what our database, the algorithm, has shown us. And we can't go against that. Because to go against that, To go against that would be like going against God, right? Their new God is this algorithm, this AI, this artificial intelligence. And don't get it twisted. A lot of your family members, your friends, co-workers, people you know, they will be taking on that same spirit of Esau. And, you know, this technology will become their God. A lot of them will be taking this microchip, the mark of the beast. A lot of them will. Okay? Because Esau said so. And if Esau said so, then it has to be right in their mind. So if Esau says that this artificial intelligence is God, then I don't care how much your grandmama shout and dance in the church, in the back of her mind, she's believing what Esau is saying, that this is her God. Whatever Esau is saying, and Esau is saying his technology is God. So you think you're hated now? You think you're hated now. You have no idea what it's going to be like in the very near future. This is Luke 21:15, and I'm going to end it with this. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. You have to believe and know that the word of the Lord is true, regardless of what the people around you are saying. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents, brethren, right? Parents and brethren, and kinsfolk, and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death, because the same people that you're trying to wake up are the same people that will call the police and say, yeah, I know such and such over there. Him one of them Israelites. And then they'll be looking through their damn window watching your ass get arrested. Right? After they try to link us to some terrorist group. Or some crazy cult. That's what's going to happen to a lot of us. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. And this is the part that a lot of people leave out. They always run around talking about an Israelite party, Kwam Yashala, but they don't tell you about this part. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But there shall not an hair of your head perish. In your patience possess ye your soul. Because it takes faith to have patience. It takes faith to say, fuck it, I'll get my damn head cut off before I take the microchip. It takes faith to take patience. True belief. Truly believing. Because keep in mind, I'm telling you right now, this pre-crime, this crime prevention technology that they're rolling out, they're going to put our names on a list and say that we're likely to commit this sort of crime. We're likely to be a terrorist. And they're going to run it through their algorithm, and they're going to say, this person's going to do this, this, and this, and you get a goddamn knock at your door. You ain't even did nothing. You at home sleep. Either you at home with your woman laying in bed, or some of you niggas gonna be eating chicken in the bed. Or a bag of spicy Doritos for whatever reason. Oh, shit. And you gonna get a knock at the door. Same way they doing these people, you know, the Latin tribes. Same way ICE is doing it right now. But you got Israelites acting like this isn't really happening, like this isn't a real thing. Like this is just impossible. The things that I'm saying. The other brothers are saying that are paying attention and can actually see what the hell is going on. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Shalom.